All right, watch this.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So it said Christ had two descriptions of his hair. It's white and woolly. Now when we look at this man, it's Abigail, right? Abigail, right? So when we look at this man right here, does he have white woolly hair? No, what kind of hair does he have? Silky brown hair. Well, who on this earth today got woolly hair? So-called black people, right? Right? Finna read it again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because it will prophesy that Christ will have eyes red with wine. If me and you were drinking some wine right now or some alcohol, what color would the white part of our eyes turn? If me and you were drinking some alcohol right now, what color would the white part of our eyes turn? Red. When we look at this man right here, he doesn't even have red eyes either. So this man, he didn't even try to cover it up, make it something close to it. He said, I'm gonna just change it completely because guess what? The so-called black people don't like to read. Finish it out.
And his feet.
And his feet. Abigail. Ain't your feet the same color as your face? The same color as your hands, right? Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now what color is brass? Brown. Brown. So if the Bible said let every man be a liar and let God be true, right? Who is that guy? Bring it out. He said Christ's feet were brown like brass. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So you take it and you burn it, what color you gonna get? Dark black, right? Right. So we've been lied to this whole time, my sister. Let me get Mark 13 and 5. And that's why we're here. That's why I said I'm not teaching you religion. Yes, ma'am. You really had to go out, right? Yes, ma'am. I ain't gonna hold you. I understand that. I understand that because it's some cold world out here. But before you leave, I want you to understand that Christ is not a white man. Right. He didn't come for everybody in the world today. He came for your people that's on this tribe. I mean, on this sign right here. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, and this on down. That's God's chosen people. Let me get Matthew 15:24 and then Deuteronomy 7:6. And that's going to be it, sis. I want you to hear these two scriptures and I want you to do your research. All right, watch this.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Now, I know we got that distraction across the street, but I'm going to read it one more time. So what are you saying? Exactly. So what did that tell him about you? Yes, that means what? You must be kind of special to God, don't you? You are. You are very special unto God, because that's what the Bible says. You know what I want? Deuteronomy 7:6. Yes, sir.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So God said we are holy. The so-called blacks and Hispanics, we're holy unto him. Meaning what? We are separate. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
He did what?
Hath chosen thee.
So God said he chose Abigail. Read.
To be a special people unto himself.
So God said, look, Abigail, are you special unto me, unto myself? That's what God said. Read.
Above all people.
Above who?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Abigail. What did he just say? We are greater than who? All other people. So you what? We are very special to God. That he sent his only son to save who? The nation of Israel. And you're from the tribe of Levi, the same tribe that Moses came from. Everybody know that Moses split the Red Sea, right? But they never told you that was your forefather. When we look on the TV, they show us a white man that did that. Our history been whitewashed, and that's out the Bible. So that's why I say I'm not trying to teach you religion. I'm glad you left the church. They won't teach you anything in the first place. You say it was a painful religion. But this is the good news. The good news is what? Christ coming for you and your people. Yes, ma'am. Yes, man. Let me get Genesis 49. Because it will prophesy like where we will be in the last days. Now watch this. You know what I want? All right, watch this.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
So he said Judah gonna be the one that brothers shall praise. He's a top tribe. He said his hand gonna be in the neck of his enemies. Now when you think back about what you said earlier, the transatlantic slave trade, we had some of our people dropped off on the island, right? The Caribbean island got dropped off in Haiti. But where was the majority of our people dropped off at? America. America. Showing you what? Judah would be in America in the last days. Why you think everybody here, we also call African American. We don't know who we are. But God said, no, that's Judah right there. So read it again.
Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
He said, our father's children shall bow down before thee. The person that we just read about, Jesus Christ, he came from the tribe of Judah. King David, King Solomon. King Christ himself came from the seed of King David. Read on.
Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Right. That's what's going on right now. He said, as an old lion, who gonna rise Judah up? It's time for them to get back on the point. And so what? So they can lead their people out of this captivity. Read on.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah.
He said, the scepter should not depart from Judah. That's actually going into Jesus Christ himself. Let me get Hebrews 7:14. You got another question though? It's all in this chapter. Give that by Levi. Let's get that by Levi. It's verse 7. Yeah. No. Verse 5.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren.
It says Simeon and Levi are brethren. Now, these are all brothers, but he says Simeon and Levi are brethren. Read.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations.
He said instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. Because back then, if you know the history, how you doing, my brother? If you know the history, what we're going on right now is like, how do we know that these people are actually in these locations, right? So if you know the history, he said Judah and Simeon and Levi are brethren, and they hands are what?
Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. O my soul, come not thou into their secret.
How you doing, sis? Levi, right? So-called Haitian, right? So-called. You're not a Haitian. You're a tribe of Levi. Right. So you asked about the instruments of cruelty, right? All right, give me 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. So the instruments of cruelty. Think about the religious practices on the island of Hispaniola, which is Haiti, Dominican Republic, right? What do they do? What religious practices do they involve themselves in? Think about it. Yeah, and Santeria. Voodoo and Santeria. Go back to Genesis 49. Then I want 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. Then we're going to go to Malachi. All right, watch this. Watch this, my sister.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations, because you hit it on the head. Voodoo and Santeria, those are heavy on that island. It says instruments of cruelty. Now watch this. This is what we did wrong. When I say we, Israel, because it's not Haiti, Dominican Republic, which is Levi and Simeon today. Y'all not the only ones who did that. Right. All of us felt guilty at one point, but he's just going through your history right now. But what? Huh? Right. Is that what God told us to do? All right, and that's fine. So that's what we're here. We're here to help you out. You understand? Watch this. No, watch this. Now we're getting somewhere. Watch this, sis.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God.
The Gentiles sacrifice unto devils and not to God. Read.
And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devil.
God says he would not that we, the Israelites, sis, he doesn't want us to fellowship with devils. You understand that, sis? Because guess what? Voodoo is a form of witchcraft. Right. It can look good for certain things, sis. You ever heard of going to a witch doctor? You heard of that before? Yeah, there's a such thing. In Haiti and parts of Africa, they go to witch doctors who could do what? They can heal. But is that right? Exodus 18 and 22. Is that right according to the Bible? Huh? No, it's not, sis. Right. Even though it can heal, does that mean that it's of God? Absolutely not. Is that what I want?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
There it goes. The Bible says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Now remember, when it talks about the Gentiles, that means anybody outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. God, he gave the Israelites a commandment, sis. He gave the Israelites laws, statutes, and commandments. Did he give did he give the other nations outside of Israel those same commandments? No. So understand, yeah, you said, yes, they can use voodoo for good or healing, but God says, read it again.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
What does that mean right there? What does that mean, my brothers, when it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live? What is the Bible telling us right there? It's very simple. I just need your participation. Speak up. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Don't trust in witchcraft. Read it again.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Meaning what? Witchcraft is worthy of death. Right. Give me Romans 6 and 23. Go ahead. Why? But do you understand that voodoo is wrong and it's of the devil? Do you understand that, my sister? See, that's why she want to go. That's why you want to go. Because our people are comfortable in this sense. You think I don't know you. I know you, sister. Right. I deal with my people on the daily. Right. And I can read spirits. Right. You're just not used to hearing the Bible. And I know a lot of times, I'm a so-called, right? So-called African American, but I know my nationality. I'm from the tribe of Judah. And guess what? A lot of times there's a disconnect between so-called African Americans and so-called Haitians. Why? Guess what that disconnect is? Where does it come from? Do you know who brought that disconnect? Do you know who caused that? The white people. The white people, yes, they have divided us and they've conquered us. So it means what? If it ain't coming from Levi or Haitians, they don't normally want to hear it from African American, even though we the same people, my sister. We are the same exact people. And guess what? The curses happen to all of us, not just Levi.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.